Hello everyone, this is Dr. Kanan, and today I will share with you how to use 3D Slicer, that great free app, to superimpose a before and after a CBCT. So we will do a 3D superimposition using stable points in the base of the skull, and how to use that superimposition to measure changes, which will allow you to measure the effectiveness of your treatment. So if you want to know, did my face mask with my mark really pull the maxilla forward, or how much the Herbst has grown the mandible, this would be a great tool that you will have fun. And I want to let you know that, please, you might need to watch this video 2 or 3 times to understand exactly how this works. Once you understand the concept, it's very easy, but there's a steep learning curve. So please bear with me. So before we start, I want to make sure that you understand two concepts that we're trying to achieve today. So you need to understand two things. We are trying to superimpose a before to an after. So I need to move this one over this one, okay? And we need to superimpose it based on some stable points, which is usually the base of the skull. We on traditional SEF we use SN, the anterior surface of sella, but we have to do it here in a three-dimensional way. So I have to superimpose right, left, anterior, posterior, and superior, interior. So we need, number one, remember this one. Number one, we need to let 3D Slicer to know that I'm going only to use a certain area, okay, which is the base of the skull, as my point of reference, okay, because I don't want to use moving parts like the teeth or other areas. Number two, you need to understand that when I move this CBCT from here to there, okay, that creates a transform, and 3D Slicer will register this one as movements in numbers. So let me show you this one. Like, I just want to play with this one so you understand. I'm going to move it right, left, and then maybe anterior, posterior. Oops, we did some rotation. That's fine. That's why we did some rotation. That's upside down, but no problem. But what I want you to see here, if I go here to transform and click properties, you will see on this matrix what we have done. You see, so I want to have these numbers from the before and after, and then I will use that amount of transform to do it to the whole skull before and after. Another thing for you to understand, that we will use AI here, but the AI module that is built in, it cannot superimpose two X-rays or two CBCTs if they are far apart. We need to put them close enough where that module, because it is based on voxel comparison. So it's going to compare voxel number A with voxel number B. If they find similarities, then it will put them together. So I can't have them too far apart. We're going to put them close enough, and then we run the module. So remember these 3 points. So to summarize what we are doing, number one, align the two CBCT as close as possible, and you will use a transfer module. Then we will define a stable area as a reference point or reference area for superimposition, like the base of the skull or the chin. Use a region of interest, that box, and then you crop it. And remember, you crop both the before and after. After you crop it, use the brains module, and the brain module is ready. Like, you click this one, and then it's under registration is the first one. Use a brain module, and if the module return like zero value or a null value, go ahead, realign it. Go to the first step, realign the two CBCTs, and then try it again, and then apply that new transform to CBCT number two. So let's practice this one in a real case, and let's get started. So let's get started with a real case. I imported the before and after, and always make sure that you have correct names here. Like, don't have numbers, or because sometimes the machine doesn't put before and after, they put numbers or something, and it's hard for us to know where we are. So I have here the before. I named it before CBCT full. After, we don't see anything here. I'm gonna go to the volume rendering, and then I pick this one, enable the visibility, select, and then here we are, and something acceptable. Then go to the after. Now select, and here we are. So you see now I have my before, I have my after, but again, you don't see them aligned very well. If you try, because today I will share with you how to use the brains registration module. We will use this module, the general registration, the brains. This one, if the structures are apart, they're not close enough, that module will fail and it will not generate the needed numbers to do the transform. So what I will do now, I will go back here to data, and we will do a transform. Say create a new transform, and we'll do it manually. Interaction, move my interaction to the center, to the nodes here, and then I can move it a little bit easier. Let's see, we're gonna put a little bit closer. See, now they look a little bit closer. Maybe need to little rotation. Okay. And then remember, when we are done, as we said in the other lecture, we need to harden the transform. So we harden it, which makes it permanent. Okay. Now let's see. Okay, it's not that bad. Hopefully it will work. Now let's see. Okay. Now I can see this one here. And for having some fun, go here, click this one. So we'll put after here. I do the before here. Then I can see we are close, but you can see we're not there yet. Okay. So now what I'm going to use, let me turn this transform or delete it. I don't need this one anymore. So now I'm going to use the base of the skull, okay, as a point of reference. I don't want my module to waste its time and study all this area. It's going to take a long time to study. The module will get confused and you will get some error messages. So we need to isolate the area that I'm interested in. And to do so, we need to use something called region of interest. We will use something called a region of interest. You click here on the markups and you see something called ROI, which is region of interest. So we will create a region of interest, okay? And I will click one dot here, another one here, and watch, I'm creating now a box that this is my region of interest, okay? Now I will adjust it. You see it's a little bit narrow. You see, I can hear my video card start working now hard. Okay, So watch, I need to go a little bit lower. Okay, excellent. Now I have the base of the skull. I have sella here. Now, if you notice that I have ANS and the floor of the nose, and since this area might change during treatment, I do want it to be included in my reference point. So you cannot rotate the region of interest box by using these knobs. So I have to do a transform. So go to data, and then here, let me rename this one. I will rename it ROI base of skull. See, I name it to a base of skull. Now I will do a transform, create a new transform. Let me see the interaction. Okay, move it to the center of the node that I'm interested to move. Okay, excellent. So watch here, I will go here now, and I will rotate this box a little bit clockwise. Okay, I can extend this one a little bit more back. Then go up, make it smaller. I don't need it that big. I just need that area as a point of reference, okay? Now, if you notice this is too wide, I don't need also all this area because it might register and use that condyle of the mandible. I don't need it. Okay, excellent. And I will go here as well. Perfect. If you notice now that we have a smaller area where the module will not waste its time and its effort to find common and stable points to reference to. So now I have my box, okay? I have my box. Let me harden this transform, okay? Now it's hard. Let's delete it. I don't want to have too many things. Okay. Now I have that region of interest. So I need to cut from the CBCT, from the before and the after. I need to cut that region of interest so the module can work on. So what we will do, go to converters and click crop volume. Okay. Now we have, watch here, we have the input volume. So I will pick the before. See, I have after and before. Pick first the before, and I'm going to use that base of skull box. So I wanted to cut everything that's outside the box and keep what's inside the box. And we want to create a new volume, and we will name it as, so, before CBCT cropped. Okay, then apply. It will take a few seconds. Now if we go to our data, you will see here I have before CBCT cropped. Let me turn this one off, off, and I will turn this one on. Let me go to volume rendering so we can see it. It's right here, and here what we have. So now the system has cropped and generated only the base of the skull for me. Excuse me. And we will use this area as a point of reference when superimposing. So now we have the before. I need also to crop the after. So let's go again, crop volume. Let's do the after now. We'll use the same. We will use the base of the skull, that box we created, and create a new volume as after CBCT cropped. Okay, then apply. Wait a few seconds, and it's done. We will go here, and you will see now I have before and after. Both are cropped. Now is the fun. Now I have the cropped CBCT for before. I have the cropped CBCT after. Now I will go to registration, general registration, brains, and here's the module. So there's a lot of things in this module. For the sake of having the first time, for the sake of knowledge, just follow what I will give you right now, and then we'll talk in details later. So this is the module, and there's a lot of stuff in this module, but I want you to follow exactly what I will show you here. So we have the fixed image volume, which should be what? The before, correct? So we have the before here, and put the cropped, okay? Now, the moving one is the after. So we're gonna put after CBCT. Percentage of samples. So how much you want the module to register these voxels, okay? And I want to do 20%, so 0.2, okay? 0.2. Don't change this one. We're not doing any B spline. And I want to do only linear transform, slicer linear transform. So we will do this one, and we'll create a new one as CBCT Superimpose. Okay. Now, don't change anything here. I need to pick the mode of registration for our purpose as rigid 6DOF, okay? Pick this one and then click apply. It will take maybe a minute because it's comparing now the voxels of the base of the skull of before and after, and it is measuring how much movement in all three-dimensional planes the software need to perform. So it's done now. It says 71 seconds. Let's go back, and I want to validate whether this worked or not. So we're going to validate it in two ways. So this is my movement, okay? So let's go and check the properties. If you see this box with these numbers, that means it worked. If you see 1110 and you see all these zeros, that means the module failed. So that's one way to check whether your module has worked or not. The second way to check it is we're going to go and check physically here. So let me click before CBCT, after CBCT, the cropped one, and I will move upside down. I want to see, what do you think? If you look here to my screen in this view, okay, or check the sagittal view, crazy. You see, like it's almost the same, identical. So that means my module has worked excellent. Now we're going to transfer these numbers that we have here and apply them to the full CBCT to move the full CBCT after to superimpose it to the before. So let's do it now. So now what I will do, we will move the after CBCT based on this movement. And to do so, you can do it in two ways. Either drag this one, drag the volume, the one you want to move, and put it underneath the transform. So I go here, I'm going to put it right there. And you see the small arrow? And watch, wow, that's a magic. You saw it, how it moved. It's crazy. And then go back and harden. Now let's test. We're gonna see whether we did a great job or not. Let's see. Now I have before full, after full, and I want to watch this area here. Watch this area here. Watch the base of the skull. Let's go. Wow. See how the teeth are moving? This is crazy. I can see how the base of the skull is stable, and I can see how the lower teeth are moving. Let me make this one big so you can see it. See, and I can go here so you can see I put like the transparency 50, 60%. You can see the most. That's before. This is the before. That's after. And you can see how the base of the skull is exactly superimposed 100%. You see very slight change in A and S. Okay. You see the tori 100% superimposed. Now let's go back to this small one. Let's see this one. And if I want to see now a sagittal section of the improvement, let me show you a trick. We will go to volume rendering, okay? And notice that viewing the full, I'm viewing the full. You see here it says display region of interest. Click this one, okay? And then I can move this one to only render half the skull, okay? And I will do the same with this one, region of interest. Move this one this way. You see how the software is trimming that area, okay? Now we will use it, and then you can see. Let's zoom in. That's before, that's after, okay? See, very nice. You can also play right here if you want to distinguish before and after color wise. Like let's say we want to give some hue color. Let's say we will give it some green color. Go to advanced here. You see advanced, and under the after. So let's see if we're gonna pick this color here. What is this one? Let me change it to maybe red. And now you can see I have some reddish hue here. So this is after, that's before, okay? If you want to measure how much, let's say this was an extraction case, I want to see how much we moved the upper centrals backward, then go to markup, line, and drop a line from the incisal edge to this one. And before we finish, I want to share a last bonus with you, and that is if you want to have something like this, where you can superimpose a two-dimensional Ceph before over the 3D after, okay? So let me share with you how we would do this. Now, to do this little trick, we have the 3D volume rendering of the after CBCT, the full one, okay? I don't need the before, so turn the before off, okay? Now I want to slice this one, and I showed you earlier how to do it using the region of interest. So we'll go to volume rendering, after CBCT, click display region of interest, and we will go this way. Now you can see that I have half, only the half, okay? Now I'm going here to this view, to the sagittal view, and click the eye. I want to show it on my plane. Then here click the before. Okay, so I click before, and that's what I have. Let me unlink it, and you can see this is the before. That's after 3D, 2D over 3D, and you see how we got excellent superimposition over the base of the skull. Let's see a view on the left side. Oh my gosh, see, excellent. So 3D here, two-dimensional there. I really wish that this was useful to you. It took me a lot of time to find it and put this together. And I tried different ways. I figured out this is the easiest way to do it. I will show you tricks and useful things on what to use this technique clinically on. Maybe later I will show you one MARPE case, or one case with a face mask, one case with a Herbst. And if you have any questions, leave them in the marks, and I will try my best to answer them or make a video based on that question. Thank you so much, and have a good one.